indulges Himmler because he needs him and his SS. In 1939, the Death's Head units fight in the Polish campaign. The soldiers of the Waffen-SS, the nucleus of the future SS Army, are prepared for death. They are like warriors of God without a God. At the front, Himmler introduces Adolf Hitler to a commanding field officer of the SS, Sepp Dietrich, the Führer's new super soldier. Many soldiers in the German army are suspicious of the SS leader's long-term plans.
My impression was that he had something almost repulsive about him. His face was always very pale. He seemed generally unhealthy, and there was often something distracted about his movements. He would try to cover that up by being very brash. But still, I had a sort of instinctive feeling that there was something eerie about the man.
Behind the front lines in Poland, Himmler's objective is clear. Persecution begins on a massive scale. Himmler's troops inflict suffering and terror on the people of occupied Poland. In 1 year of German occupation, there are over 10,000 murders. The victims are predominantly Jews. But Hitler wants even more. In 1941, the decision is made to murder millions. Himmler and his right-hand man, Reinhard Heydrich, chief of the Reich's Central Security Office, are to put the plan into action. Himmler will later maintain that he had scruples about his behavior, but he acts quickly and efficiently with no sign of any doubts.
Himmler was a man with immense energy and incredible drive. That's why he could organize everything with such terrible perfection.
Hitler knows how efficient his henchman is and how unscrupulous. None of Hitler's other deputies is even considered for the murder plan. The Nazis' final solution, next, when Himmler's mania continues. During the summer of 1941, the Holocaust begins with the attack on the Soviet Union. It is a new criminal form of warfare without rules, a war of extermination. Behind the troops fighting at the front line, special task forces are in operation. Their job is to hunt down human beings. Their victims have no idea what is to come.
When the war started, we were thinking about trying to escape. But my grandfather said, "What's so bad about the Germans? I know them from the First World War. They're very cultured people. What could be superior to German culture?"
In this footage, shot near Riga in Latvia, an SS unit forces Jewish men to dig their own graves. Himmler's task forces murder over 500,000 people in the space of 6 months. There are thousands of witnesses. In August 1941, Himmler visits the front line in Minsk, Russia. Unlike Hitler, he personally inspects the murder of Jews repeatedly. In Minsk, he checks the activities of Task Force B and orders a mass execution by firing squad as soon as possible. The SS Reich administrator is performing a murderous rehearsal. 100 prisoners are led outside the city to a mass grave that has just been dug. They are forced to clamber inside in groups and lie on the ground, face down. The firing squad starts shooting. Himmler's adjutant, Karl Wolff, describes the scene years later.
Dann blieb natürlich nicht aus, dass der Reichsführer da reingeguckt hat, dass hier von diesen Schüssen, Kopfschüssen, also Gehirnmassen rausspritzen in hohem Bogen und dem Reichsführer an seinen Mantel spritzten. hat also gezittert, nicht wahr? Er hat sich natürlich wahnsinnig geekelt. Und wie das sah, dann begann er zu wanken und zu taumeln.
Himmler is sickened by what he sees and calls for his personal doctor.
The impression my father had after Himmler came back from the execution by firing squad was that he found it revolting, and it made him sick.
Himmler's doctor, Felix Kirsten, witnesses a fateful decision.
So they would have to find another way to achieve the Führer's aim, to exterminate people more efficiently. Shooting wouldn't work, so some other method had to be found.
The solution? Murder by gas. First, carbon monoxide is used by the Nazis, then Cyclone B. Now, death is on an industrial scale. Himmler minimizes the burden on the executioners. Most of the victims don't know what awaits them.
And they were all asked how old, wie alt. And I just remembered, and I said 18. And there was my mother. And she said 44. So she went there and I went here. I wanted to run after her. I was pushed back. So this is the last I saw of my mother. She just wasn't selected for life.
Auschwitz becomes Himmler's murder factory. Here, too, Himmler personally inspects the site. On July 17, 1942, he visits the newly built extermination camp after a trip to the Eastern Front. 449 Dutch Jews are forced to take off their clothes and take a shower. Deception is a key element in the Nazis' death machine. Himmler watches through an inspection window.
The people are inside. They've been laughing. They've been asking where they are. And we had to keep quiet and not tell them what was going to happen to them. If we told them, the people suffered even more. They started screaming and crying.
The Nazis call this the final solution to the Jewish question.
Es soll zwischen uns ausgesprochen sein, und trotzdem werden wir nicht in der Öffentlichkeit nie darüber reden. Von euch werden die meisten wissen, was es heißt, wenn 100 Leichen beisammen liegen. Wenn 500 da liegen oder wenn 1000 da liegen. Und dies durchgehalten zu haben. Und dabei, abgesehen von menschlichen Ausnahmeschwächen, anständig geblieben zu sein, hat uns hart gemacht und ist ein niemals genanntes und niemals zu nennendes Ruhmesblatt.
Again, murder is rewarded. Hitler appoints the head of the SS to the office of Minister of the Interior in 1943. Himmler is now the second most powerful man in the Third Reich. Though it isn't apparent when meeting him.
It happened on one occasion that Himmler took me down to dinner. Each man was assigned a dinner partner, you see, and it was arranged in advance. And that was the first time I actually met Himmler on a personal, private level. And my first impression was of a quite insignificant man with no outstanding characteristics, like a primary school teacher.
Himmler's Waffen-SS is ruthless in battle. His doctrine legitimizes the actions of the SS as they continue perpetrating horrific war crimes.